I want to start with a question, and I want you to sit with it for a moment before I keep talking. When was the last time your intimate performance felt completely reliable? Not just adequate, not, well, it worked, mostly. I mean fully, confidently, satisfyingly reliable. The kind of reliability that lets you be present in the moment rather than anxious about what may or may not happen. If the honest answer is, it's been a while, then what I'm about to share with you matters more than you might expect. Because the two ingredients at the center of today's video are not exotic, they are not expensive. They are sitting in kitchen cabinets and pantries all over the world, used daily by people who have no idea that when combined correctly and consumed at the right time, they activate some of the most powerful natural vascular pathways in the human body, the same pathways that determine the quality, strength, and duration of a man's intimate response. This is not folk wisdom dressed up as science. This is science that folk wisdom happened to stumble onto first. The myth I want to dismantle today is one that costs men years of avoidable struggle. The myth is that intimate performance after 60 is primarily a hormone problem, something to be addressed with prescriptions, injections, or complicated supplementation protocols. And while hormones absolutely matter, the research increasingly makes clear that the majority of intimate performance challenges in men over 50 are vascular first. They are blood flow problems before they are hormone problems, the pipes before the fuel. And if that is true, and the evidence strongly suggests it is, then the most powerful place to intervene is in the health and responsiveness of the blood vessels themselves. That is exactly where apple cider vinegar and extra virgin olive oil operate. Not on the surface, not as placebos, but at the level of the endothelium, the lining of your blood vessels, where intimate performance is ultimately made or lost. Once you understand the mechanism, you will understand why men who have added this simple protocol to their mornings consistently report changes that surprise them. And you will know exactly how to do it correctly. I'm Dr. Mariana, board-certified urologist with over 20 years of clinical experience in men's sexual health and vitality. My job is to give you the honest intersection of traditional wisdom and modern evidence, what holds up, what doesn't, and what you can use starting today. If this channel is new to you, subscribe right now and hit the bell. Every week, I bring you clinically grounded men's health content that gives you real tools, not just real talk. Give this video a like if you appreciate content built on evidence rather than trend. And tell me in the comments, where in the world are you watching from today? You are part of our Vitality Circle, and I want to know who is in this room with me. Now, 7 things you need to know about these two ingredients, how to combine them, when to take them, and what is actually happening inside your body when you do. The first thing to understand is the endothelium, because this is the biological stage on which everything today's video is about plays out. The endothelium is the thin layer of cells lining the interior of every blood vessel in your body. It is not passive wallpaper. It is an active, metabolically busy tissue that produces nitric oxide, the molecule that signals smooth muscle in blood vessel walls to relax, allowing vessels to dilate and blood to rush through freely. Think of the endothelium as the control room of your vascular system. When it is healthy, signals go out clearly, vessels open on cue, and blood reaches every tissue that needs it, including the erectile tissue, with speed and volume. When endothelial function is impaired by inflammation, by oxidative stress, by high blood sugar, by chronic dehydration, by the accumulated damage of years of poor vascular habits, the signals become weak and distorted. The control room is sending messages, but the doors aren't opening the way they should. The result is reduced blood flow, slower and less complete vascular response, and the intimate unreliability that men experience as one of the most quietly devastating changes of midlife. Both apple cider vinegar and extra virgin olive oil have direct, documented, measurable effects on endothelial function. That is the foundation of everything that follows. The second point is about apple cider vinegar, specifically what it does to blood sugar and why that matters enormously for intimate performance. Apple cider vinegar's primary bioactive compound is acetic acid. Multiple peer-reviewed studies have confirmed that consuming apple cider vinegar before or with meals meaningfully reduces post-meal blood glucose spikes. Think of blood sugar management like a river after rain. Without management, the flood surge crashes through, damaging the banks, depositing sediment, and leaving the riverbed altered. Consistently well-managed blood sugar keeps the river flowing smoothly without the destructive surges. Why does this matter for intimate performance? Because every significant blood glucose spike triggers a cascade of oxidative stress and inflammation in the endothelium. The same arterial walls that must dilate and allow blood flow for intimate response are being damaged, surge by surge, every time blood sugar spikes hard. Men with even modestly elevated blood sugar not diabetic, not diagnosed, just running higher than optimal, have measurably impaired endothelial function. Apple cider vinegar interrupts that cycle. It slows the absorption of carbohydrates in the digestive tract, reduces a spike, protects the endothelium from the inflammatory heat, and over time supports the restoration of vascular responsiveness. This is not a dramatic overnight fix. It is a consistent, daily protection of the tissue that your intimate function depends on. Practical protocol for apple cider vinegar. 1 to 2 tablespoons of raw unfiltered apple cider vinegar, the kind with the cloudy sediment at the bottom, called the mother, which contains the active enzymes and beneficial compounds, diluted in 8 to 12 ounces of water. Always diluted, never taken straight, because the acidity can damage tooth enamel and the esophageal lining over time. Consume these 15 to 30 minutes before your largest meal of the day, typically dinner, for maximum effect on post-meal blood glucose. Some men prefer to take it in the morning before breakfast, which also provides benefit. Either timing works. What matters is consistency and dilution. The third point is about extra virgin olive oil, and this is where the science becomes genuinely impressive, because olive oil's effects on the vascular system go far deeper than most people realize. Extra virgin olive oil is the richest dietary source of oleocanthal, a compound with anti-inflammatory properties comparable in mechanism to ibuprofen, but delivered gently, daily, through food rather than pharmacology. Think of oleocanthal as a slow, steady stream of water on the low-grade inflammatory fire that burns in the blood vessel walls of most men over 50. It doesn't extinguish it in a single dramatic moment. It reduces it consistently, day after day, until the baseline inflammatory burden in the vascular system is genuinely lower, and with it, endothelial function improves, nitric oxide production becomes more efficient, and the vascular response that drives intimate performance becomes more reliable. Additionally, extra virgin olive oil is rich in oleic acid, a monounsaturated fat that has been shown to reduce LDL oxidation, the process by which cholesterol becomes the damaging, artery-narrowing substance that most people worry about. Less oxidized LDL means cleaner vessel walls, better flow dynamics, and a vascular system that responds with the responsiveness of one that has been properly maintained rather than chronically neglected. The landmark PREDIMED study, one of the largest nutritional intervention trials ever conducted, found that men in the Mediterranean diet arm of the study, which featured high consumption of extra virgin olive oil, had dramatically better cardiovascular outcomes and, notably in a subset analysis, significantly better erectile function scores compared to the control group. This was a large, rigorous, peer-reviewed study. The effect was real, and it was attributed substantially to the endothelial and anti-inflammatory effects of extra virgin olive oil consumed daily. Practical protocol. 2 to 4 tablespoons of high-quality extra virgin olive oil per day. Use on salads, drizzle on vegetables, consume with bread, or taken directly by the tablespoon. Quality is critical here. Many commercial olive oils labeled extra virgin are adulterated or oxidized. Look for oils with a harvest date on the label, not just a best by date, and choose oils in dark glass bottles. A fresh, high-quality extra virgin olive oil should have a slightly bitter, peppery finish at the back of the throat. That peppery quality is the oleocanthal. If your olive oil tastes like nothing, it has likely been processed or diluted to the point of losing its active compounds. Spend a little more. It is worth it. Now, before I show you how to combine these two ingredients for maximum effect, I want to ask you something. Have you noticed a connection between what you eat and how you feel the next morning in terms of energy, circulation, and intimate confidence? Most men have never made this connection consciously, but the connection is real, it is measurable, and your own body has been trying to show you the data for years. Tell me in the comments, has your diet changed significantly in the last 5 years, and do you feel a difference? Your answer might help another man in this community see his own patterns more clearly. The fourth point is a combination protocol, because while both ingredients work independently, consumed together in the right way, they create a compounding effect on the same vascular pathways that amplifies the benefit of each. The acetic acid in apple cider vinegar enhances the bioavailability of the polyphenols in extra virgin olive oil by lowering the pH of the digestive environment in a way that protects and preserves these delicate compounds through the digestive process. Think of it as a protective escort, the vinegar creating the right environment for the olive oil's active compounds to survive and be absorbed more completely. Additionally, the combined anti-inflammatory and blood sugar stabilizing effects of the two ingredients work on the endothelium from two complementary directions simultaneously, one reducing glucose-driven oxidative stress, the other reducing lipid-driven and general inflammatory stress. The control room receives support from two independent but reinforcing channels. The result is a synergistic vascular effect greater than either ingredient produces alone. The combination protocol: 1 tablespoon of raw unfiltered apple cider vinegar plus 1 tablespoon of high-quality extra virgin olive oil, mixed into 4 to 6 ounces of water, or consumed together as a small shot. The olive oil floated on top of the diluted vinegar, 15 to 30 minutes before your main meal. Some men prefer to use this combination as the base of a simple salad dressing over greens, which delivers the same compounds with the added benefit of the dietary nitrates in leafy vegetables, a direct additional boost to nitric oxide production. Either method works. The key is daily consistency over weeks and months, not occasional use. Vascular health is built on sustained input, not single doses. The fifth point addresses what these two ingredients do for testosterone through the hormonal metabolic pathway, because the vascular effects are primary, but they are not the only mechanism at work. Chronic blood sugar instability suppresses testosterone production at the hypothalamic pituitary level, meaning that the brain's signal to the testes to produce testosterone becomes less reliable when the body is chronically managing glucose dysregulation. Apple cider vinegar's blood sugar stabilizing effect therefore supports not just endothelial function, but also the hormonal signaling chain that sustains testosterone levels. Simultaneously, extra virgin olive oil has been shown in research to support testosterone production by protecting the Leydig cells in the testes, the cells directly responsible for testosterone synthesis, from oxidative damage. One study found that men who consumed olive oil regularly had testosterone levels approximately 17% higher than those consuming other fat sources. Think of the Leydig cells as a specialized production crew, and oleic acid and the polyphenols in olive oil as the protective equipment that keeps that crew working efficiently, rather than being worn down by oxidative stress on the job. Blood sugar stability plus Leydig cell protection equals a hormonal environment that is better positioned to sustain the testosterone levels that drive libido, confidence, physical vitality, and morning readiness. The sixth point is about what to avoid alongside this protocol, because the benefits of apple cider vinegar and olive oil can be significantly undermined by habits that work against the same vascular pathways they are working to support. Alcohol is the most significant counterweight. It is a direct endothelial toxin, a blood sugar disruptor, and a powerful suppressant of the deep sleep in which testosterone is produced. A man who adds the morning vinegar and oil protocol while continuing to drink 4 or 5 nights a week is driving with one foot on the accelerator and one foot on the brake. Some progress, but nothing close to what is possible. Processed seed oils, corn oil, soybean oil, canola oil used in fried and packaged foods are pro-inflammatory and directly counteract the anti-inflammatory effects of olive oil's polyphenols. Refined carbohydrates and sugar create the very blood glucose spikes that apple cider vinegar is working to prevent. Consuming both simultaneously is nutritional self-sabotage. And chronic sleep deprivation keeps cortisol elevated, which both impairs endothelial function and suppresses testosterone. The vinegar and olive oil protocol is not a license to continue the habits that created the vascular problem in the first place. It is a powerful addition to a broader commitment to vascular health, most effective when the major disruptors are also being addressed. The seventh point is realistic expectations and the timeline of change, because this is where men either stay the course or abandon a protocol that was just beginning to work. Vascular improvements are not instantaneous. The endothelium does not heal overnight. What men typically notice in the first 1 to 2 weeks is improved digestion, reduced bloating, and slightly better energy. The digestive and metabolic effects of apple cider vinegar are relatively prompt. Between weeks 2 and 4, men who are consistent often begin noticing improved sleep quality, slightly better morning energy, and the early signs of improved vascular tone. Between weeks 4 and 12, the endothelial and anti-inflammatory effects of daily extra virgin olive oil consumption begin to produce measurable changes in intimate responsiveness, morning confidence, and sustained vascular performance during intimacy. These are not dramatic, sudden transformations. They are the gradual, cumulative restoration of a system that has been degraded gradually and will be restored gradually. Think of it like refinishing a floor. The work is methodical. The change is incremental, day to day. But after 2 or 3 months, you look at the floor and it is genuinely, substantially different from when you started. Give the protocol 90 days of consistent daily use before you evaluate its full effect. Track your mornings, track your energy, track your intimate confidence. The data will accumulate in your own experience, and it will be more convincing than anything I can tell you today. Let me tell you about David. David was 64 years old when he came to see me. An architect, sharp and detail-oriented, the kind of man who wanted to understand the mechanism of everything before he would commit to it. He had been struggling with inconsistent intimate performance for about 3 years. His testosterone was in the lower range of normal. His fasting glucose was 108, pre-diabetic territory, though no one had specifically framed it for him that way. His diet was heavy in refined carbohydrates and restaurant meals cooked in industrial seed oils. He had never paid meaningful attention to olive oil quality. He knew what apple cider vinegar was, but had dismissed it as a trend. I walked him through the endothelial mechanism, exactly the way I've walked you through it today. He nodded, pulled out his phone, and made notes. He committed to the daily protocol. Diluted apple cider vinegar before dinner, 2 to 3 tablespoons of quality extra virgin olive oil daily, and the reduction of the dietary habits that were working against him. He came back in 10 weeks. His fasting glucose had dropped to 94. His energy was noticeably better, and he told me, with the understated precision of a man who does not exaggerate, that his intimate confidence had returned to a level he had not experienced in at least 4 years. He said, I kept waiting for it to stop working because everything else I tried stopped working. This hasn't stopped. He paused and then added, I just wish someone had explained the mechanism to me years ago. That is why this channel exists. That is why this video exists. Because you deserve the mechanism, not just the recommendation. Before I give you your action summary, I want to speak to something directly. Because I know there are men watching this who have been struggling with intimate performance for long enough that hope has become a complicated thing for them. Men who have tried things that didn't work. Men who have had conversations with their partners that were harder than they expected. Men who have quietly started to wonder whether this is simply who they are now. It is not who you are. It is a state your vascular system is in, and states change. The endothelium responds to the right inputs. Blood sugar responds to the right habits. Inflammation responds to the right nutrition. I have watched men in their late 60s experience genuine, meaningful restoration of intimate confidence and reliability through exactly the kind of foundational vascular work we have covered today. Not every case resolves with lifestyle alone. There are men who need additional clinical support, and I always encourage that conversation with your physician. But the foundation, the vascular foundation, is where every meaningful solution begins. Your dignity as a man who deserves a full, connected, intimate life does not have an expiration date. The biology agrees, and it is waiting for you to give it what it needs. Here is your complete action summary. 1. Purchase raw, unfiltered apple cider vinegar with the mother. 1 to 2 tablespoons diluted in 8 to 12 ounces of water. Consume 15 to 30 minutes before your main meal, every day. 2. Purchase high-quality extra virgin olive oil with a harvest date on the label. 2 to 4 tablespoons daily, used in cooking, on salads, or consumed directly. 3. For maximum synergistic effect, combine 1 tablespoon of each in water or as a salad dressing over leafy greens before your evening meal. 4. Reduce alcohol, refined carbohydrates, and processed seed oils. These actively counteract the vascular benefits you are building. 5. Protect your sleep. The testosterone production and vascular repair that this protocol supports happen primarily overnight. 6. Add a 15-minute walk after your main meal. Post-meal movement dramatically reduces blood glucose spikes and amplifies the effect of the apple cider vinegar on endothelial protection. 7. Commit to 90 days. Track your mornings, your energy, your intimate confidence. Read the record at 90 days. The cumulative vascular change will speak for itself. Your 30-day challenge. Starting tonight, add the diluted apple cider vinegar before dinner and the olive oil to your evening meal. Every single day for 30 days. No exceptions. At the end of 30 days, notice what has changed. Then commit to another 30. This is how vascular health is rebuilt, one consistent day at a time. If today's video gave you something real, a mechanism you can trust, a protocol you can follow, a reason to believe your body is still capable of change, please hit the like button right now. It genuinely helps this channel reach more men who are searching for honest answers to questions they may not feel comfortable asking out loud. Subscribe if you haven't already, and share this video with one man in your life who you think needs to hear it. For your comments this week, I want something specific. Are you going to try the combined protocol, apple cider vinegar and olive oil together? Or have you already been using one of them separately? Tell me what your experience has been so far and what you are going to add. Your answer helps build this community into a place where real information gets shared between real men. Drop it below. Until next time, take care of your body because it is the only one you have and it is still very much worth fighting for. This is Dr. Mariana and I'll see you in the next one.